Good evening and welcome to episode 7 of Chasing the Finish podcast. My name is Mike Duffy, and as usual, I am joined by the best two co-hosts in the business, Ben Blakeman and Jake Ramsey. Like I say, episode 7, we cannot believe that we're 7 episodes in. We genuinely wouldn't keep doing it if the demand and the figures were there. So thank you very, very much. As I say, joined by the wonderful two co-hosts. Let's go to Jake first. Jake, how's things with you? You all good?
Good, mate. Good, mate. How about yourself?
Good. Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Not long got back from a run this evening. The missus is stopping over at work for some summer school, and I've been left to my own devices, and
Dangerous.
I thought no better way to spend the evening than go for a run.
Nice.
Yeah,
I planned out to go for a run when I got home today. Well, I was working at home today. I was planning to go on once Tan got back, and then things just come up and sorting out stuff for France in a couple of weeks. Just got sidetracked, and then I just weren't in the mood to go out then. So
yeah. Well, it's important that you do start doing so, and we'll talk about wine a little bit because that is on my notes. Ben, good evening. How are you? All good, I trust.
Yes, as always. Ready to go. I'm interested to see what I talk about today. Yeah, let's go, man. I'm good.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, let's kick off. Like I just said, Jake needing to maybe get a few more runs in. And the reason for that is, since we've last done an episode, Jake has now officially booked his first ever running event. Woo. So I am absolutely buzzing for you. He's booked the Solihull 5K. You probably would have heard us talk about it time and time again. But for those that don't know, the run through Solihull, it's happened for the last however many years. They usually have a junior run, a 10K and a half marathon. Well, this year, the 10K has been scrapped because of something on the route. It's just not possible to do. Really intrigued to know what that is actually, because part of the 5K route we were looking earlier at is that 10K route. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it is. So, yeah, there's a 5K now, and then there's a half marathon. So if you booked onto the original 10K, like myself, you could either drop down to 5K and get a little bit of money back, or for free of charge, bump up to the half marathon. But yes, 5K, Jake, I believe as well, because you're going to France in a few weeks, is it? You've mapped out a route there as well, so you're really going for it at the moment, aren't you?
Well, I need to get it in. So, and especially if we're deciding to do Stratford, which is will be before. I need to up my game a bit. So, I've done a route around where we're staying in Disney, but if I get time in Disney and if I'm allowed with how busy it is and if we're doing stuff, that'll be a different scenario. But from the wedding venue for Blues, I mapped out from the venue itself down to the closest town, and it works out to be just over 5K. So when you're there, might as well indulge as you do.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that you're going to Disney and you might have a run around there. I've been following a lot of other running podcasts on our Instagram page recently, help each other out. That's what podcasts do. And one of them that we followed, it's actually two sisters who do the Run Disney events. So they get the medals and they're all themed, and there seems to be quite a few events. So I've no doubt you probably would have heard of them and maybe got your eye on one in the future. In fact, didn't you talk to me about one not long ago?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if it was on the pod or just between the three of us. I spoke about it. But some of them, they just look class. So, I think the theming this year was, one of them was, I want to say Mulan. It was outside the 5K, and then it was like Anna and Elsa for the 10K, and then there's obviously the half of my sound so childish there. There's obviously the half a marathon one, but they do it in obviously Tokyo, Disney. I do think they do it in Paris, but I'm not too sure. But I know they do it in Florida. But when I was looking into it to see the dates, it's like they did a run at like 4 o'clock in the morning, because obviously they need to do it before the parks officially open and with the heat and that. But it would be class to do. It'd be definitely something to look at in the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, yeah, I had to amend my notes today because we've been non-stop on the group chat today, and the notes have changed like 4 or 5 times, and that's because my original notes were saying after it says Jake has officially booked his first running event, the note afterwards was chasing the finish will be fully represented at the run through Solihull run, but you're not doing it now. And I would usually have a go at you and say, what the hell are you playing at? But to be fair, I didn't realise this because I paid the original 10K price and then got bumped up for free. But do you want to talk about why you're not doing the run, why you're not doing the half marathon this year at Solihull?
Well, I've just about calmed down. I was absolutely fuming this morning. As always with me, I'm always lastminute.com in terms of booking events. Mike's always getting stressed at me, telling me off for it, but I always get there. But I went on this morning, payday, went to go and book the Solihull half marathon. I can't even, the feeling I felt when I seen the price of this half marathon, £42.
It is bonkers.
To run around the area I run around anyway. I'm sorry, I just cannot justify £42 if you're literally paying for a medal. Like what else am I paying for? I'm like, I know you said obviously you're paying for the occasion and the support and whatever. Okay. It's still not selling me.
I know what you mean. I mean, I only paid. How much was the 5K, Jake?
That was £30.
Yeah. Which
so
is still like gripes me because I do 5Ks and all I'm getting is a medal. If that's the case, I'll make my own each week for parkrun.
No, I'm serious about this though, because they want, it's all about people getting into running and how inclusive it all is. I don't want to say it's just run through because I do think they are incredible for what they do, the events that they put on, the scale of what they do. We've done them before. It's not like I've never done one, and I know obviously we've done the 10Ks and stuff, but fair play to them. They are good, and especially for beginners, people getting into running. There's no, it's quite easy. They run you through the whole process. There's pacers. It's a great atmosphere. I'll give it that. Everyone we've been to. But I cannot justify running around my own area, the route that I do most days anyway, for £42. I'm sorry.
It is mental. I mean, what I don't understand is, and there's probably documentation or FAQs out there to explain why they charge what they charge, but it's the difference. The difference. I was going to use a different word then, but it just wasn't coming out. The difference between prices for each run. So I obviously only paid the 30-odd quid, and for a 10K, that's thereabouts what I usually pay. So, no, I can't really say anything on that. But when I heard that it was that much, I was like, oh my God, like, where is that money going? Obviously, they have to charge to future-proof themselves as a company. And I imagine there's a lot of logistics and, having to pay left, right, and centre. I know a lot of people volunteer on the day, but 42. I mean, I don't blame you. When I saw that message come through saying that you weren't going to do it, obviously I was gutted because it's always good to do events together. But 42 quid is absolutely bonkers. And yeah, I mean that's any future sponsorships off the table. We've run through now. We've just absolutely slagged them off. But but no, I understand what you're saying. It's your local area.
Probably charge you to partner up. It's I don't know. Look, there's I could get 2 or 3 different events in within that price.
Well, I was going to say actually, maybe jumping the gun a little bit here because we're going to talk about your return to running in a bit, but without giving too much away just yet, you've obviously been looking at a different type of running event, which is you like your trail runs, you like now you've got a taste for ultras. I bet they're not that far off being priced for.
Honestly, no. I was looking at 1 or 2 today, and they're coming up at £39 to £40. Do you know what I mean? Granted, the majority are more towards £70. The more upscale ones are just over 100. But I'd rather pay for that than 42 to go around the block, around mine. Do you know what I mean? It's just not. I'm sorry.
No, I know what you mean. I'm trying to find now the email.
Yeah, but didn't you say that there were still places available for the, like, plenty of spaces available for the? Yeah, well, look, I wonder why. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's looked at that and just shook their head because I'm sorry, I'm not happy. It's rumored, no, because the thing is, I did want to do it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm just being funny about the money. It's not. You know, I've got 2 kids. Do you know what I mean? I can't just constantly doing these events and spending that much money. Because it's you know, running is not cheap. Let's be honest. You know, it's for something that's free to do. You know, these events, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was just trying to find the email about how much I paid because it's my first half marathon. Obviously, I didn't know I was going to be doing it when I originally booked on, but I thought for once I'll actually buy an event T-shirt, and I've also bought run through do like magnets instead of using safety pins to hold your number on. And I did buy, I did buy little magnets to hold them on, but they were rubbish before ones I bought online. So I'm hoping these ones are better, but. Yeah, it is crazy how much it costs. So instead, you'll be coming along as moral support, and we're hoping. I know we've said this before, but we are actually hoping. We tried to sort of put a little plan in place earlier that you're going to instead record some stuff for the podcast, get a bit of content on the day. Might even try to.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Reporter.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe stitch it all together. Put out a little YouTube video, a little podcast, and yeah, it'll be good. But Jake, coming back to you, obviously it's your first ever event. Now, in your head, I bet you're just thinking of it as, right, turn up, it's a park run, and then I'm done, and I've got a nice shiny medal at the end. How, or are you? Are you feeling indifferent? How are you feeling about your first ever event?
I feel fine, to be fair, because like you said, it's just like another 5K. If anything, I haven't been out, which obviously don't help. I don't like not going out and then doing a park run on Saturday anyway, because I feel like I won't be as quick, or I ain't got no chance of beating my PB or anything like that. But I'm not like nervous for it. I feel like I will be with Napton because like 5K I know at the moment is between like 34 and 38. So I know after that I've got to go do another like 30 odd minutes of it. So it'll be a good test. But hopefully by when Napton, or even if we do the Stratford one, I should be in a consistent cycle then.
Yeah, well, like I said to you earlier, the first ever event, I mean, you sort of get used to it after you've done a couple. I mean, you'll probably wake up on a day and feel, you know, quite nervous, even though it is a distance, you know, that is going to help you no end. But if I could bottle up that first time I was on a start line at my first ever event with all those people there, because to be fair, it is very well supported, that run is, the run through Solihull. It's a bit of a boring route. The 5K might be different, but I'm led to believe that the half marathon, having seen where they ran off to when I did the 10K 2 years ago, it is like your country roads. It is quite a boring event. Can't imagine there'll be many people out in the country roads. But to have that feeling again at the start line with all them supporters there, you almost have to sort of rein yourself in when you start, because you just feel like you're on top of the world and you could, you know, run for days. And then it really does help when you're coming round that corner to where obviously it finishes at the Mason Arms, a pub that we know very well. When you come round that corner, you in your heads, even though, again, like I say, you're used to the 5K, you might be thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I've got it. But that crowd will carry you through, because there'll be a lot of people still there by the time that you've crossed that finish line. So I'm buzzing for you. I don't care if, you know, it's only a 5K. It's 5K more than you were planning to do on that day anyway. So, and the fact that you get a medal at the end, it'll be brilliant. So I did the very stupid thing the other day. of checking the results from last year, and I checked who finished first and I checked who finished last, because I was going to ask Ben if he was still doing the half marathon, if you fancied your chances at last year's time. The guy that finished first last time in the half marathon did it in 1 hour and 9 minutes. Do you reckon you got that in the locker, Ben?
Oh, I don't know about that. No.
What's your PB for half marathon?
See, I don't even want to class it because, well, I can, but it was 1 hour 32. But this was on a day where it was Storm Bert, so it was insane. I've never seen a storm like it. And obviously, it was at Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
So you're running one way, one bit of the track, and the wind's behind you. Then the next, you go around the corner. Completely, it was so hard to understand. It's completely flat, but you go literally just round the corner, and it just hits you. And you're probably better off walking than you are running. Trying to run was impossible. I literally going slower than anything. So it's a bit of up and down. But to get 1 hour 32, I'd take that any day of the week. But I don't know. This one I'm a bit annoyed because I was interested to see what I would, judge this as a proper. Right, here we go. No excuses, no bad weather. Let's just try and crack on and see what we get. And now I've got to wait again to kind of, see what I get.
Well, you almost go from one extreme to another, because we had my old man on a couple of weeks ago, and he's done it. You hear about people that have done it before. And I think last year was the 1 year where it wasn't absolutely roasting hot. So to go from Storm Bert to, uncontrollable heat and it being absolutely scorching, it would have been quite interesting to see how those two times married up, to be honest. But Jake, I know obviously, you're going to try and get in some running beforehand. Are you going in because it's a 5K and it's a distance you used to? Are you perhaps maybe feeling a bit more comfortable to put a time or put a target of what you want for the Solihull 5?
Oh, it'd be class to get a PB or just get quicker than what my last couple of runs been, because after Holbrooks, it's all just been downhill. I just can't get anywhere close to that again at the moment. But hopefully on this health kick, hopefully you stick with it a bit more.
Yeah, well, you've been busy though, haven't you? You've been busy. You haven't had that consistency. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself, but
getting back on the football and that, a bit more running and try and get out a bit more, just try and get more fitness in. Started calorie counting, so hopefully I can start to see a bit of a difference again.
Good stuff.
But I hope a PB, but I'm not pressuring myself. I'm just glad I'm getting it done.
Well, I think that's the important thing as well, though. Don't let it take away from the day. Do you know what I mean? That experience, as Mike's been going on about, experience of your first event. Take it all in. Look around. People are cheering you on. Give them a wave or whatever. I'll go high five any kid that's sticking their hand out or whatever. Have a joke with the marshals. Just make the most of it, because you've paid 30 quid for it. You might as well. But,
Are you confident about yours, Mike? How are you feeling? Do you have a time in mind or?
No, not this one. I think I said a couple of weeks ago that we I had a plan mapped out. I actually got AI to map out a training plan for me, and it did it brilliantly. I said, right, this is how many times a week I want to run. My long run, I want it to be on a Sunday. God knows why I do that, because I like a drink on a Saturday. So the amount of times I wake up on a Sunday thinking, what I'll do today? Go out on a bloody long run. But I thought, right, I think I had over 12 weeks, and it broke it down superbly. So I was like, that's super. That is just what I need. You see some people, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And this is no disrespect to runner, because I see loads of people use it. So it obviously is a very good training plan regime. But I'm not a fan of, you see people and it's like 4 times 100-meter sprints followed by 15-second rest. And it's like, I'm not here for that, man. Just tell me how long I need to go out on a run for distance-wise, and I'll do it that way. But obviously, very early on in it, I was working away in Devon. So I was down there for 3-4 days, and we were on site pretty much all day. As in, you were getting back to your digs having some food and then calling it a night. So like I really didn't have it in me to go out on a run. So that caught me off guard a couple of times. Although in the training program, I have had a couple of 10Ks in there as well, which has helped. But yeah, this one is just finish. And I know I shouldn't have done it, but looking at that finish time, I'm not going to name the woman just out of respect. She might not want to be named, but the person who finished last in the half marathon last time did it in 3 hours, 15 minutes and 43 seconds. And I think we were at Perry Hall a few weeks ago. And I think I was talking to Ben about this. And I said, I've not got a time in mind, but if you pushed me and asked how long I thought it would, I think I said 3.5 to 3:45. So the fact that I've seen that, I'm like, and listen, there's absolutely nothing wrong with finishing last. But in my head, I'd feel like too embarrassed. But I do want to stress that if you have finished last in a race, there's nothing wrong with it. But for some reason in my head, I'd just be dead embarrassed. And, you know, when you post on Facebook, oh, I've done this run, you probably notice, you two more than anything, I don't put my time on there because I'm worried that people will be like, you did it in that time. I remember doing a 10K once. It was the second quickest 10K time I did. And I put it on Twitter. In fact, it was the one that I ran for Charlie's Foundation, Jake, a couple of Novembers ago. And a Watford podcast like really helped with the fundraising push. So I put an update on Twitter saying, finished it, got my second quickest time in the 10K, raised this much, thank you for all the donations. And largely a lot of the comments were brilliant, well done. It was hammering it down with rain as well that day. And then there was a couple of comments at the bottom that were like, did you walk it? Because I put my time on there. So, you know, I try not to let things bother me, but it does, unfortunately. I've always took a lot of things personal when they might not be intended to. So it does worry me, you know. I'll be sort of, I don't often get proud of myself, but I'll be beaming with joy that I've done my first ever half marathon. And the last thing I want is people asking how long I did it in and then having to type it out and be embarrassed about it. Yeah. So I need to understand that it's an achievement within itself, just crossing that line, because I am also horridly scared of not being able to finish, like physically. I worry about what my body's going to be like. I worry about, you know, what my state of mind's going to be like. And that really is a possibility in the back of my head. And it's half of the battle is going to be physical and the other half is going to be the mental battle, because it could really get a hold of me and I just do not want it to. So just finish this one and then maybe put more of a time together for the one in October in Lincoln that I've got coming up.
Getting it done in itself is massive, mate. Just signing up to it. Like, I know you say about the 5K, like, but like it's nothing in comparison to doing a half marathon, is it really? Like, I'm over the moon that I've signed going up to my first one, but to jump the gun, like you had a 10K, you could just drop down and go to the next one, but you thought, no, I'm going to go for the half marathon and get it done. That's massive, that is. So if anyone else has a comment about your time, just give them time to fuck off.
It's all about perspective as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because you're guaranteed a PB.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Someone else said that, actually. Yeah,
exactly. So, you know, and then it's just up from there, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely. Actually, we do have questions that we've had come in, and I'm going to ask one of them now. We'll read one of them out because it's to do with events. And obviously, Jake, it's your first ever one, so I'll be intrigued to know the answer from your perspective as well. But we had a comment on our Facebook from Mark Graham. Now, Mark is a very, very close friend of my dad's. They went to university together. And he's a very, very good runner. He's been doing it for a while now. He's done all the events you can think of. Really, really nice guy. Newcastle fan, big Geordie. So really good guy. And I think he found out. I was at Mike's 50th a couple of weeks ago, and he was there. And I think it was not long after we'd started the podcast. And he was like, "Oh, I've seen you doing a podcast. I'll listen." So he says, "Hi lads, enjoying the podcast, a good mix of running banter and chat that gives you a good range of seeing things from all different paces. Don't think this has been asked. Ben, we'll come to you first. Do you listen to music or podcasts when you're running on race day? I like to listen to music on race day and quicker runs, but podcasts on longer runs. So when you do an event, you put a list in our chat earlier of all the events that you've done. Have you ever stuck any music on, or would you just go without?
No, never. I think I tried it once, and I think I was just having trouble with my headphones falling out. So I was just like, I can't be bothered with this. Too much hassle. Let me concentrate on my run.
What about in the week?
No, nothing.
No.
Just Just it's almost like, I think, especially when I was training for the 100K, it was like I was training myself to be bored. So I wasn't listening to anything. Mm-hmm. I was just literally talking to myself in my head. And I think it paid off. I think I would have been a hell of a lot worse if I'd got to that 100K and then, I don't know, something could happen with my headphones and I've been relying on them. That's it, isn't it? You use them in your training, whatever. What happens when you can't use them? That's my thinking. You've almost got to have that sort of plan B, and I just don't need it. So I decided on the 100K with nothing, just me and my thoughts, and I'll just do that. I don't need them anymore. So
Now, Jake, I know you're a music man and you love your music from all genres, as I'm sure we'll find out later as well when you choose the song for the playlist this week. But in terms of running in the week, do you listen to music, podcasts? What do you listen to? And then going into the Solihull 5K, do you think you'll have, because we part run together and you don't listen to music there, so do you think you'll put music on for the 5K or not?
So at the start, I was like, I've got to have something on in the background. I've got to listen to stuff. I didn't really listen to podcasts because I feel like I get bored easy or stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I used to just have my playlist, which is songs, but the range was I could go from something really high tempo to slow. And then when I spoke to you, Per, and you're like, yeah, we're just running without headphones. I've done it the once and I just enjoyed it more because you just take it in. When people are saying hello to you or pushing you on, you can hear them and it doesn't feel ignorant. I think if I do a longer run, I will. Well, I'm saying I will, but I might not, because if it's somewhere I've never been before, if it's somewhere I'm running where I've not been around, then I probably won't, because you just start taking everything in. So I probably won't. But it's I don't know really, because I do enjoy listening to music, but then I'll get halfway around and I'll be like, well, my ears are, if I have my headphones on, my ears are just sweating and I gotta hold them. And I'm running with them, and it just winds me up. So,
and then you're dealing with dropping your bottles as well. It's chaos.
So if that is the case, and I know I'm going to get halfway around or like 3/4 around, it's been like, all right, I'm bored of music now. Then I've got to keep them on my head. Where to put them? So unless I put them in the back of my vest, but then it means I've got to take the whole thing off mid-run. So
put them in the back of your white vest.
No, bloody hell.
Yeah.
No,
so
accompanied with rolls of cellophane.
So I think I'll raw dog it.
Yeah, man. No, that's what I do. I mean, in the week, I always put music on. I have my own running playlist, and I always find I end up skipping about half the songs because I'm like, oh, this isn't buzzing me up enough. And then I'm like, do I want music that hypes me up too much too early on? Because at the moment, I'm trying to luck would be such a thing, right? I'm trying not to start off too fast in inverted commas, because I'm noticing when I start my runs, I've got a pace of around 7:30, and I usually end up with a pace of around 8:30. So someone once said to me, you need to not sort of come out the traps as quick. So the last thing you want to be doing is sticking a high tempo song on when I'm out the door and, whizzing off to that. So in the week, absolutely, I'll stick music on. Don't really put podcasts on because it doesn't hype you up, as Jake just said. If it's just people talking, I understand what people do, because you're focused on listening to that and you're not focusing on, oh, I might be out of breath or whatnot. And then with events, never put music on. I just soak up the atmosphere. There's probably a couple that, looking back on it, I might have done. I even toyed with the idea earlier, actually, when I was out on a run, for the bits where I'm out in the sticks for the Solihull half. Do I take my AirPods in my vest and stick a bit of music on, because it's just going to be me, grass, and maybe some cows and some sheep. So it's not going to be the most entertaining. So, yeah, for events, no, and for in the week, yes. Thank you for the kind words and the question there, Mark.
I think it's one of them. I enjoy listening to my breathing. Like, it helps me concentrate, and no, not having that one.
It puts me off. Well, I say it puts me off.
I'll forget.
I obviously do runs on event day without them, but if I'm hearing that, I'm tired, and my body's like, right, stop then. Where deep down I could probably keep going, but just because my breathing's out of sync, my brain's telling my body, right, you need to stop and get your breath back, and it messes up my rhythm sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, all this talk of running and events and do we listen to music and whatnot, you're back, Ben, after your little hiatus after the ultra marathon. You did a run on Tuesday, I think it was.
I did.
How was it? An 8 kilometer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first thing, how are you feeling? Has that rest rejuvenated you? Do you feel okay? No niggles, no pains? And then secondly, what have you got? What's the future hold for Mr. Blakeman going forward? Because you're not going to be doing the street running, and I believe you've got your eyes on certain events.
Yeah. Yeah, that run was the most humbling experience of my life. I think I was straight onto Jake after, literally saying, like, I think I got 4K in and I was blowing hard. I genuinely thought, like, I'm gonna have to stop here because I was too far away. I was like, I can't walk back from this. But yeah, man, it was rough, really rough. Heart rate was through the roof. To be fair, the first, like, down, I'm not going to say, like, first 2K, like, down the road, it's flying. I felt so good. I was like, back, here we go. And it hit me like a truck, man. I'm telling you, real bad. So I think I got about 8K in. I wasn't that far from home, but I thought, you know what, I'm walking. I'm having a bit, just stretching the legs off, a bit of a cool down. Legs were like jelly. I literally, it's so funny. I would have loved to have seen myself walking up the road because I just felt like my legs were just wobbling. So God knows what I must have looked like. But yeah, it was rough, man. It was rough. I think but in a way, I'm kind of glad because if I'd come back and you just run it, I'd be like, that's too easy. Do you know what I mean? What we're going to do next straight away. Where I think, even after 100K, I was like, right, I need to regroup here, train harder. I kind of knew what training I needed to do. I've got a better idea now. It's more, as I said to you, it's more quality over quantity, which is why I'm not doing the streak. I'm reining it back in. I'm going to try and do longer runs, more focused runs, just improve myself as an all-round runner and kind of lead me on to what I plan to do, and that is the ultra running scene. I'd love to be an ultra runner. That's just what I want to do. Just really got the taste for it. So I know now what I've got to do. I probably don't. I'm probably saying this, and then I'll do another event and be like, here we go. I was completely humbled again, But I think that's all part of it. I think it's the experience, learning from the experience. And I eventually it will make me into the runner that I want to be. So, I've been looking at some 50K events, trying to get a few of them in. I don't want to say the end goal, but the kind of target now is to working up to 100 miler.
Wow.
That'd be the one I'd like to do.
How many kilometers is that? That's
about, is it 120 or something like that? I don't know.
10K is 6 miles, so 100 miles is 10 miles.
Give it us.
I failed maths, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I want to work up to.
160.
160 kilometers. Okay, there we are. So yeah, that's what I'd like to work up to, and then the target being trying to do it within 24 hours. So yeah, so at the minute, just getting 50Ks under my belt, being able to be comfortable at that distance. Maybe I don't know if I want to do 100K again. I might just go straight for it. You know, who knows? Done it before, do it again. Skip a few. So yeah, I'm just ultra at the minute. So adding in the we'll like do events together and stuff. You know, absolutely. I enjoy a 10K. I think I enjoy the distance. Park runs, obviously. You know, but yeah.
Well, I was going to say then, does that sort of feed into it a little bit because you do the 10Ks and you do the 5Ks? Let's talk about the 10Ks because I don't want to say winning park run because that's not the right thing to do, as we know. But with 10Ks, because you'll have your eyes set on sort of bigger things, do you think you might get to a point where you can be like, right, well, there's no reason why I can't aim for a top 3 finish in this 10K?
No, I don't know, because I'd have to focus on speed work and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've always said to you, I don't know if I want to be like a quick runner. I don't want to be quick in the sense of like, you know, doing a sub 35 10K or whatever, or you know,
well, you have done, just putting it out there.
No. It's one of them. I don't know. I think obviously going with this ultra kind of vibe thing now, I'm going for. Obviously, you can go a bit of a slower pace, but still, you know, you're not having to sprint the whole thing. It's more tactical, and I enjoy that aspect of it than just straight, you know, road running, whatever. But no, because there's some fast guys out there. Do you know what I mean? There's some really, really fast guys. I don't think I'd ever be able to compete at that level. And we're all getting on as well, you know.
I run with one of them. If it's slow pace you want, then. You know, well, I'll hit you up with a training plan, and
I'll have to speak to your coach when I.
Yes, loved it. Yeah. I thought I've got to take the moment here. Yeah, that was a bit of a rib tickler. Yeah, definitely.
For himself.
It's darn sight more interesting than what I usually have to say, probably. Let's stick with you, Ben. What running news have you got for us this week? It was a bit of a sobering one last week. It was a bit sad. I'm hoping you've maybe got some more jovial stories for us. Or
let me hop onto the web and I'll.
Is it more desire? Not that tab.
Well, to be fair, this week I've kind of gone with.
Homicide?
No. I don't want to say relatable stories, but I think they're going to spark a bit of conversation. Just, you know, we can get questions from them, and you know, I'm interested to see. I mean, this one we can relate to. This is about a girl who says it no longer feels safe to run next to the canal. Which is a big issue I had with you when we did this, and this is why me and Mike did a canal run, didn't we? Where did we go, Mike? I can't even remember now.
From Solihull to Birmingham city centre outside the NIA. That was just over 8.5 miles.
Yeah, and I feared for my life at every single kilometre. Just a constant fear of being pushed in.
And
God knows what else. Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that. But yeah, you just get some shady characters, don't you? But Phoebe Lake lives in Nottingham and leads the female-only running club These Girls Run, which meets twice a week at locations across the city centre. She says that now she's started to avoid certain routes near the city's canals to keep members safe after 2 alarming incidents against women in recent months. I know we had that last week about, obviously, where was it now? I can't even think.
Surrey police were cracking down on it.
That's the one, yeah. But obviously Nottingham's also on the map here. The 21-year-old is now calling on the authorities to do more to make canal paths safer. They're poorly lit. On both occasions, women were targeted near the Nottingham and Beeston Canal in the city centre. Just over a week ago, a man was charged with raping and sexually assaulting a 19-year-old girl on Canal Street in an alleyway near the canal. And in January, a woman in her 40s was assaulted and robbed in broad daylight while walking along the canal towpath behind Nottingham Crown Court. Miss Lake said the incidents made her think twice about running in the area. The canal used to be one of the regular running spots, especially in the summer, she said. But after what happened recently, I've told the girls to stay away from the area for their own safety. There's no clear escape if you're being followed, and the canal's often isolated and poorly lit, making it hard to get help. It's a shame. Our canals are beautiful and we want to enjoy them. I completely agree. I don't know about beautiful, but I don't know how you got on, Mike. I don't think you said one thing about, I was terrified, genuinely terrified. You obviously, shake it off. You know what I mean?
I think the first thing to say is it's quite funny how she's talking about canals and her name is Phoebe Lake. You didn't quite pick up on that one, but no, I totally understand. I'm a little bit different though, because I absolutely love the canal network within Birmingham. It really fascinates me. Don't know why. There's no reason. I think there's some beautiful spots, and I've even looked at maybe doing a sort of run like that again, but coming from a different angle, because we went from Solihull into Birmingham. You've got the Birmingham and Fazeley Canal, coming from Sutton Coldfield down into Birmingham. There's so many different ways. You've got the Black Country Half Marathon, which was a couple of weeks ago. That's from Wolverhampton into Birmingham city centre, just via the canals. So I love them, I do. And I think being from Birmingham helps. The more miles of canals than Venice. Not, as people usually say, more canals than Venice. That's incorrect. But it is a shame. And again, it sort of links with what we were saying last week. I probably wouldn't go for a run down a canal at, anywhere where it's getting dark. But I'd think, right, well, if I have to, and that's my only choice, then I can probably get away with going through. Whereas women don't have that. They're like, right, well, did you not hear what happened the other week? And they're just avoiding it completely. And we talk about time and time again how inclusive the running community is, but deep down there are sort of deeper lying roots that are issues, because it's not inclusive if women have to alternate their routes based on what's happened. So absolutely, they something needs to be done about it. And maybe the Canal and River Trust can jump on it, or if they're aware of it, and maybe put something into place. But no, a very relatable story, that one is.
Would you do it, Jake? Because he's trying to make me do it again, and I said no. He's got some sick twisted thing with the canals, man. I don't know what's going on.
I can understand where it's coming from though, because where I used to live, I was always round the canals, like on my bike and playing aki-traki and stuff like that. So I can get it, but running like 8 mile or whatever it may be, I'd be like, nah. It stinks as well.
No, some of the views and stuff he's on about, shopping trolleys in the water, black bags.
Culture, Ben, that's culture.
Yeah, apparently.
I got a load of videos from the canal side. Some of the graffiti and the art was no, I'm not taking a pic. It genuinely was beautiful. I've got some lovely photos from when we did it. So
love your idea of beautiful. That's
wow. Embrace the area that you live in, Ben.
God, stay away from it. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one then. I'm a 10K world champion after I took up running in retirement. I think we had, obviously, the old boy who died last week, who was 114, started running, I think it was in his late 80s. Mm-hmm. Got another one here, a retired teacher who gave up running for decades when she was humiliated in a school cross-country race, wants to inspire other older people to take up the sport after she became world champion. Dot Kesterton from Sheffield won gold in the 10K at the World Masters Athletics Championship in Finland 3 years ago, with a time of 47 minutes, 17 seconds. The 72-year-old is one of the 7 Masters athletes who has represented their country training at a club, Virtual Harriers in Claywood. She said runners her age need to channel their inner child and remember what it was like to run around the school playground. Mrs. Kesterson said that she had been distraught when she was publicly disqualified from the junior cross-country event in her teens. It was more than 40 years before she returned to the sport when she was persuaded to run with other women. See, with this one, I just think, if you'd have told me, how many years ago? Over 15 years ago, in school, that I'd be paying £42 of running around Solihull, I would have. I don't even know. I would have laughed at you. That's what I would have done.
Well, you haven't done.
Well, exactly. That's because
right.
exactly. But you have. Do you know what I mean? These are the fact that who would have thought in school that one day we'd be paying to run. Do you know what I mean? Didn't want to do it in school. Me myself, I did not want to do it in school. Anything. Play football, that was it. But now we're literally paying to run. Why? What's going on? What's gone wrong? What has happened?
It is that midlife crisis thing, and there's so many memes about it. Have you even turned 30 if your friends aren't running half marathons with you? And
it's baffling. I mean, fair play to it. But I don't know. It's just, it links on to my next story, really, and the question I wanted to ask. At what point do you think you'll stop running? Like, do you have a plan on how long you want to run for?
As soon as I cross the line at the half marathon, we get that Xabi Alonso picture of me holding my running shoes behind, leaving the game.
No, but it makes you wonder how, is this just going to be a phase of a few years, or do you know what I mean? Are we going to be still running in 20, 30 years, get to 114, still running? Do you know what I mean? It does make you wonder,
I know what you mean, and for me, the big thing is I've been running on and off genuinely since I was probably 18. Even younger, maybe. I used to referee when I was younger. I think I passed my refereeing course when I was, I want to say 16, 17, something like that. And I was running, obviously outside of the football games. I was trying to do a bit of running. But it's the problem with me is consistency. Everyone can have that initial hype of something like, oh yeah, I'm really going to get into it. All the gear, no idea, they say, I think. And it's continuing with it. So for me at the moment, this is by far and away the longest that I've remained interested in running. And I really hope it does continue. There'll be some days. I remember finishing the Lincoln 10K last year. No, sorry, the Lincoln Park run last year. And I always, from the walk from the finish line back to my car, I always edit the Strava, so update it, put a few notes in. And I remember typing out, genuinely might give up. In fact, this was in preparation for that canal run. And I typed, I said, might actually give up running because I was that infuriated. So I really hope, me personally, that long may it continue because, yeah.
Yeah, because I know you've been in that place a couple of times, haven't you, where you've been close to quitting, and I think it'd be very sad. And to be honest, I don't think it would last because I think I still think you will have that bug. That's I don't think it ever disappears. I think it will still be there for you regardless. It sort of took over our lives, hasn't it? Everything, social media, whatever. Everything I see is running at the minute, and you see more people getting involved in it. And just to completely wipe that out of your life, I don't think it'd be, you go out and you see people running in the street, you're like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think, I know you've been there a few times and God only knows how frustrating it must be for you. And I have the most respect for you in the world. And I really do look up to you in that sense. And I've said it to you before, how you keep going as tough as it may be, I don't think, even myself and Jake, we can't relate to it. As you say, these worries that you have about genuinely being last in an event this size as well. Like, we find it, and Jake will find it hard as well, but we don't go through that. And how you still then turn up at the next event ready to go, I just have, as I say, the most respect for you. So fair play, mate. So we'll just go on to this one then. It's kind of the same sort of theme. So we've got parkrun veteran 82 runs a final race in Leeds. A veteran runner has completed her final race after taking part in more than a century of events at her local parkrun in Leeds, but she isn't putting her feet up just yet. Hilary Warham, 82, has more than 200 marathons and 171 parkruns to her name since she took up the sport at age 55. However, as Mrs. Warham is moving to Scotland to live with her daughter, Saturday was the last time running at Woodhouse Moor, which she has finished 112 times. Woodhouse Moor parkrun director Anne Askers described Hilary as a running machine, adding, "We're going to miss her very much." She was given a standing ovation by volunteers and fellow members of her running club as she crossed the finish line on Saturday. "It was amazing," she said. "I'm so well known for many things that I can't keep going and take it in my stride. Everyone knows Hilary because they see her everywhere. She's a running machine," said Anne. "Not only does she come and run with us, but she also goes out, also comes and helps set up. She's a stalwart." Yeah, it just goes on to continue. Fair play. Do you know what I mean? I think that's all that can be said. You see old people all the time at parkrun, but
usually passing me.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't know their stories. This is the amazing thing about running. Everyone's on their own journey, and everyone's got their own story. Everyone's at the different level. The woman could be passing you. She could be going through could be her last one, or it's just you don't know the stories, and I think that's the great thing about it.
Bloody will be if she passes me again.
I think you'll be all right, Mike. I think
that's what I aspire to be.
I know you're not as prepared. Go on.
You said you aspire to be, and I went, "What, an old woman?"
Well, yeah, an old woman, yeah.
No, I think, as I say, you're not as prepared as you wanted to be. Same with me with the 100K. I wasn't as prepared as I want to be. But I think you will surprise yourself. I really do. I say we'll all be there supporting you. If I have to jump on and, pace you along, I will. But, yeah, fair play, mate.
It's everyone else I worry about, though, because, I think I said this on a previous episode. I don't tend to drag the wife along to events because it must be so boring. Obviously, she's proud of what I do and whatnot, but it must be so boring if you're there just to watch and you see someone at the start, maybe on the course, depending on where you situate yourself, depending what type of course it is, and then you see him at the end. And I said to Beck, I says, she's coming with me, obviously, and she'll see me at the start, and you can't really, the Solihull half, by the time you've got somewhere, you might as well just wait by the finish line. And she's going to have to wait for 3.5 hours. I mean, granted, Jake will have finished not long after, and obviously you'll be there, Bri will be there, and whatnot. But this is what I mean. It's everyone else that waits, and just that story of Hilary was her name.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be when I'm older, and you've got that completely different generation. I can't imagine how my old man feels seeing that his two lads have taken up running. And that's what I want to do. I mean, we talk about time and time again, getting other people into running. And that actually makes me happier than doing the events myself. Mm-hmm. We've got a parkrun group chat on WhatsApp. And I think, there's, let me just have a look. There is 9 group members. So obviously 8 and me, but 3 of them are us. But there's a group strong of 9, and I keep saying how great it would be to get double figures at an event. And when you bring someone new along, and then they get the bug. Look at Farmy. He's completely got the bug. Tom Hodson, he says he can't make park run next week because he's away, but he's already scouted out the nearest park run. Hearing things like that, and because we brought him along to it, I'd like to think you can have that little effect. You've just sat there and praised me, and I'm worried about fitting my head through that door in a minute. But it goes right back at you, to be honest, Ben, because, you know, we started doing events together, and I'm obviously not claiming your, you know, performance, but I like to think that I helped you get the bug a little bit more for running. And then I'll go back to the example that I always love to use, that we turn up at Coventry and you're beating elite runners. And like Beck's telling me, and it's like, oh my God, he finished. And they said, oh, you should join a running club, you know, how quick. And I sort of think, well, you know, I like to think I've maybe played a little bit of a part with getting you into running as much as you are. So that's what I love more than anything, is getting new people in. And we're talking to a couple of other lads at the moment who are hoping to join us in a couple of weeks at Babs Mill. And it'll be great. And I love seeing our lads that come along that have maybe never ran before, never done an event, and then they get the bug. So I just, that's what I absolutely love.
You're like my Mr. Miyagi, Mike. That's what you are.
You look at it, I physically hated running until you dragged me along to Cannon Hill. Got me and Chris along, and we were like, look, because me and Chris did a run before that, and it was well, I don't want to say I'll say it now embarrassing, because we were both hitting like between 30, so, and we've done it in like 45 minutes, 5K, and I was like, yeah, it's good time. You do Cannon Hill, and we hit, like, I think Chris got in like 36, and I got 30 hours. Like, fucking hell, I beat my time already. And then you're like, well, then it's like a challenge, and you want to beat it again. But obviously, every course is different. But like now, like, if I don't know, like, if you go out on a run, and I'll say, like, I'm gonna go out now.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to, or not need to. I feel like I suppose there's a sense of missing out, in a sense. But it's just something that I didn't think I'd ever get into, because I enjoy playing sports. Like, obviously, you got football, cricket, and even badminton. I love badminton. But like running, I didn't ever expect to get into running.
Yeah, and you wait till
I fully enjoy it.
You wait till that adrenaline hits you when you start the race, because you'll be going at a pace you don't even realise. You'll get swept with everyone else.
Yeah,
it's
well, talking of is that all the running news? Sorry, Ben. Before I
that's all you're getting. Yeah,
no, excellent. Much happier stories this time round. So a nice mixture, I think. Talking of events, I have got a 10K this weekend, and I'm a little bit annoyed with myself, but on the grand scheme of things, it'll be an experience, and I get to run with a mate who I don't. Well, the only reason I see him is the only reason outside of football. You know, I've seen him for my wedding and his wedding. I don't often get to see him. So I'm doing a run near St Albans, down in Hertfordshire, near Watford. So I'm doing it with my mate Ben Ayton, who I've been podcasting with all these years. And like I say, the only reason that I see him usually is to go to the Watford games with him. So he's another one to add to that list of people. He went out on a run and he's absolutely loving it now, and he's smashing it. And he did his first ever 10K earlier this year. He did the run through Hemel Hempstead, and we're doing a run down in St Albans. It's called the 3 Brewers 10K. So you finish the run, you get a pint cup, and then you get a free beer of your choice. It'll be one of these where, because it's an independent brewery, it's not going to be your average, you know, Madry, Carlin, whatever. It'll be whatever they brew. But that's the first I've heard where you've already got a pint waiting for you. So that was a big plus for me. But I read the description, because obviously as we edge closer to race day, they send out the race information, and it's 85% off-road. So it's like road running trainers will be fine, but they're classing it as a trail run. And I'm like, for God's sake.
Excuse to get more trainers, Mike. So this is some trail shoes.
I mean, I've already said this to Ben, and Ben will listen back to this. But I said to him, you know, if I'd maybe if we were looking more thoroughly, I'd have maybe skipped that one because trail running just isn't my thing.
Have you
So
tried
it's going to be interesting.
Have you tried trail running?
No, but it doesn't appeal to me. No, I know what you mean, but it doesn't appeal to me. Like the max elevation's only 95 meters, and that's pretty good, to be fair. It's not as hilly as I thought. Because straight away when I'm thinking trail, I'm thinking woodlands up, you know, like that bloody one you did in was it Kimber's Edge, where you said you had to walk how bad that hill was?
Them hills were worse than the 100k Peak District. I'm telling you.
That's put me off for life.
What I'm gonna do is eventually I'm gonna try and get some sort of camera or something, and I'm gonna for definitely trial runs. I'm gonna start like recording because I can't put into words how some of these hills are, man. Like you moan about Sutton. You've got to see them.
The thing with Sutton is it's the gradual inclines. It's not necessarily like Solihull. We were talking about this earlier in the group chat. You know, me and Jake were saying that hill near Widney Manor, that's a killer, but it's just one hill. Whereas Sutton, it was gradual, and that's what kills me. So on the grand scheme of things, it doesn't sound like it's too hilly, so that's fine. And to be honest, even if it was, good practice for the half marathon in Solihull. But yeah, maybe wouldn't have booked it, but it'll be different. It'll be an experience. I'm running with Ben, running with my brother Cam, who is a guest next week, by the way, on the podcast. So yeah, I've got that. So yeah, it's going to be
about this one. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I hope so, because
I can't wait.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm traveling a bloody long way for it because, like I say, it's down in Hertfordshire, and it starts at 10 a.m. and you pick your number up on the day between 9:15 and 10:15, and then on top of that, I've got to pick Cam up from Watford because he's living in Wembley. The closest tube station's half an hour away from where the race is. So I'm having to leave Lincoln at 6 a.m. the latest.
Oh, you used to it anyway.
I am, but to then run a park run, not to run a 10k. So
what's a 10k these days? Come on.
Well, yeah. Interestingly, they said, I had an email today with the details. There will not be a race briefing on the start line. So, you know, you need to get to grips with what the crack is. And there is one water refill station. This might not come as a surprise, Ben, considering you've done trail, and I'd be intrigued to know if this is the case generally speaking for trail. But one water refill station on the course at 5k, and then at the finish, no cups are provided. So it's not bottled water. It's just literally, if you don't bring a bottle, you're done for. Was that the same with Kimber's Edge?
No, we had cups at that one. I think it was. Yeah, because a lot of events now are going like cup plus, should I say? You can get them foldable ones. That you can sort of clip on, and they just like just whack them up. They kind of recommend them, but I don't know what you're going to do about that.
Well, I don't like running with a bottle.
Just cup your hands like that.
I certainly won't be taking advice on how to run with a bottle from Jake. I know that one.
You could borrow them, couldn't you?
Huh?
You could borrow them.
Borrow what?
Jake's bottles.
I've got a pouch for one of my running vests, but I don't know. I have got one where, you know, those weird shaped ones where they fit perfectly around your knuckle. The water bottles, I've got one of them, so I might have to use that. But I really don't like running with water bottles.
Get one of them with the cups in.
With the beer hat. They are having barbecue food after as well, which is quite decent. Again, never known a setup like that. Well, I don't know. That's all it told me.
How much is it?
You'll collect a free Brewers 10k pint cup and drink voucher. and then the drink voucher can be redeemed. So I was telling Cam about it, and because of his work, he almost had to go over to Switzerland for the Euros, but he's not going. And I think he said that because when I initially sent him the link, he said it's 31 quid for a 10K, and he said that seems a bit mad, but get with the program, Cam. But yeah, live jazz, finish line. Here we go. Medal, free Brewers pint cup, drink voucher. We have a live jazz band playing for you from 11 a.m. at the finish line. It's approximately 85% off roads using bridleways, woodland trails, and road. And it's a 2-lap course.
Sounds like one type of event, this does.
Yeah.
Got it?
So it's I can't remember. Oh, and there's a 2-hour cut-off. So, but I'll be done in around 1:30, 1:32, I reckon. So, but yeah, there we go. So it's tucked away in the corner of the Hertfordshire countryside. The Free Brewers Brewery. They'll be the ones that are doing it. So 94-meter elevation game, 85% off-road. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll try and get a few pictures, videos,
I want to see
get a bit of content and see what's happened. But yeah, got quite a few events coming up now. That I almost had one next weekend as well, which then would have made it 4 on the bounce. So yeah, that would have been an interesting one.
Well, I've been looking around a lot, like obviously looking for these 50Ks, and there doesn't seem to be anything like local at all. I think that's the problem. Living
Countryside,
in the
isn't it?
Yeah, it really is an issue. Even like looking like training and stuff, like there's nothing. I mean, you've got your Licky Hills, and you've got
Cannock Chase.
Yeah, Cannock Chase. Obviously, Kimber's not too far away, but it's like really, you're talking about 45 minutes to an hour travel. It's like there's nothing local, which is obviously been a bit of a problem for me. But event wise, yeah, it does seem like I have to proper travel for them. So a bit annoying, but what can you do?
All part of the game. Talking of the game, it's time for the Strava segment showdown, which we are now level. It's 1-1. Jake was the victor last week or the week before. Sorry,
it was 2-1.
No, it's 2-1 to you, Mike.
2-1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
apologies. I'm being too humble there.
Being rude now, mate.
No, I genuinely didn't mean that.
I mean, I should know this information anyways. It's my game, but
I tried to get a bit of a chart on the go, but forgot. So, it's 2-1. So will Jake draw level, or will I further my advantage and put us 3-1 up in front of the away fans? Take it away, Ben.
Okay. I've got 3 as usual. I have got a Chasing the Finish themed one this week.
Ooh,
so I've got 3 segments, including all our names. One is fake, obviously. I'll say that's all last. So we'll go with the first one. We've got Where Phil Lost His Socks. Okay. We've got Everybody Loves Raymond's Lane. And we've got Tour de Cul-de-sac. Right. So, Michael, what do you think is the fake one? We've got Where Phil Lost His Socks, Everybody Loves Raymond's Lane, and Tour de Cul-de-sac.
I think about this too logically because I'm like all of them could be doable. I'm going to stick with my. I'm going to stick with my theory. I know that's the point. I'm going to stick with the theory and be logical. I'm going to go with Where Phil Lost His Socks.
You think that's the fake one?
I do indeed.
Okay, Jake.
I think B. Well, which
Everybody Loves Raymond's Lane.
Yeah.
Are you locking in on that, Jake?
Yeah, I locked that in.
Yeah. You are both wrong. It's Tour de Cul-de-sac. That is the fake one.
See, I just envisaged someone running around the cul-de-sac a couple of times, and
I mean, it makes sense.
There was that guy. I saw it on Instagram who did like something crazy, like a marathon, just running in his cul-de-sac.
There you go. That's a challenge for you. Okay, so 0-0. Second one, fat men with little sticks. Okay.
Not a pain.
Okay. Mum said, "Don't come back till you PB." Okay. And then third one, we've got blasting up the beaver.
Oh,
Okay.
morning.
So we got fat men with little sticks. Mum said, "Don't come back till you PB," and blasting up the beaver. Okay, Jake, what do you think?
I'm just gonna go. Mum said, "Don't come back till you PB."
As the
I feel like that beaver one. It's just gonna be in it. It's gonna be funny.
Who knows? Who knows? Go on, Michael.
I'm going to go with the first one. Fat man with little sticks.
Careful. Jake, you are correct. Well done. Well done. Yeah, the fat men with little sticks is a
Solihull?
No. It's a car park of a golf course.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So that's that. So 1-0 to Jake. Well done. Here we go, Michael. This is could it be tied up? Could it be tied up? Who knows? So this is the Chasing the Finish themed one. So it's got one including all our names. So first one, we've got Michael's merry-go-round. Okay. We got the Shaky Jakey.
Oh,
And we've got the Bebop Benny. Okay.
brilliant. You maybe want to get out a shot. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I think Flossie wanted to play.
So Jake, we got Michael's merry-go-round, the Shaky Jakey, and Bebop Benny.
I think it'd be funny if it's. Bear in mind, he's been the one who started all the running, and his name's not the one involved in it. So I'm going to go Mike's merry-go-round.
You think that's the fake one. Michael, what do you think?
Well, I was hoping that wasn't a play on how many managers Watford have had, and it being a merry-go-round. But
I didn't think of that.
what was the one with your name? Sorry, my cat decided to interrupt me while she was telling him.
It is Bebop Benny.
Bebop Benny and Shaky Jakey. Shaky Jakey's a class one. If that doesn't exist, by the way, we need to make one with that name. Bebop Benny.
You reckon?
Mm.
Well done, Jake.
Oh man!
Yeah.
You know what that was like? That one there was like, when Mings scored or Konza hit.
Oh yeah. When he handballed it, yeah.
Yeah. So well done, Jake. It's now 2-2. Yeah. Mike, any words? You're running away with it at one point.
I've
He's clawed it
become
back.
too complacent. That's my problem.
You have, which I don't understand because, as you say, I think you overthink think too logically about it.
That's me, mate.
Yeah, obviously worked. First, yeah, I don't know.
No, not a great one from me, to be honest. Sonny, I should have mentioned earlier in the show, but if you're watching, you'll see it in the comments. We're coming down to the last couple of topics now to discuss before we call it a night. But obviously, as you know, we do have the Spotify playlist. We're going to mix it up a little bit this week, and we're trying to get more songs in there. At the moment, there's a decent amount. If you go out for a run for a half an hour, you'll have a full playlist for you there. But we want your songs. So we've already had one from our good friend Chris. He's put in Without Me by Eminem, so that will be getting added in. I was just going to do first come, first served in terms of whoever puts the first one in, but let's get this playlist filled. So if you're watching and you listen to music when you're running or exercising or whatever, and there's that one song that you think this really gets me pumped and going, drop it in the comments and we'll add it into the playlist, and I'll read them out before the end of the show. So please do put them on there, because otherwise I'll look like a right idiot. Part running this week. Ben, I know you're having the week off, but you are your next one's the big 25.
Yeah.
So what's your plan for the big 25? We obviously know, but the listeners at home don't.
Yeah, I'm going back home, going to Babs Mill, where it all started. I think I was quite adamant about that. I know we done your 50th, Mike, and you was a bit, I don't mind, as long as, got a few people there, I don't mind where it is. I'm just a bit more, I want to go back to Babs Mill.
At the moment, I think we got 6 or 7 for that one, by the way. So, and again, if anyone's watching and they're local to Birmingham, obviously there's a couple of names in the comments who I recognise, and you're free on Saturday, the 2nd of August. Come and join us at Babs Mill Park Run. Yeah. Bloody coffee's closed, though, Ben. What's all that about, man?
I feel bad because I do feel like every time we go to Babs Mill, I feel like a bit of a host, and I feel like I'm like, come on, guys, come round mine, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, and I feel bad because obviously, the cafe's closed for the summer, which is a bit annoying. But
if anyone doesn't know what we're referring to, the best in italics, bolds, underlined waffles ever. They've got so much choice.
The staff are a bit rude, aren't they?
Yeah, the staff are different. Let's just say that. I'm doing my home park run. Talking of home park runs this weekend, I was gonna come down to Birmingham, but because I got to drive to St Albans on Sunday, it'd just be so much driving the weekend, and it'd just do me in. So I'm gonna go back home and do that on Saturday. So Lincoln Park Run. Jake, you're venturing out. You're doing a completely different one, which is great to see. You're doing it on your own as well. So fair play to you. Where are you going?
I am doing Dudley. Yeah, so venturing some distance, but yeah, killing 2 birds, 1 stone. So Tan's got to go towards Merrill, so I was like, might as well see if there's a park run nearby and just do it while she's shopping. And
that is what we love. That's what we've done to people. We brainwashed them now. So whenever they've got to go somewhere different and it's a Saturday, their first thought is, oh, is there a park run nearby? We love it. Just on the topic of park run, I don't like to moan too much, especially about park run, because I think they're amazing. I put this in my notes because it's done my head in a little bit, and it's not park run's fault, it's Royal Mail's fault. So as you know, my last park run, I got 50. Well, it was my 50th one. I had the shirt delivered, perfect, fits lovely. I've worn it a couple of times in midweek runs. I also ordered a mug, which I didn't know you could get, and it's got the 50 logo on it, and it's got your name and your park run number. So I thought, nice little personal touch. That was 2 weeks ago. Royal Mail tried to deliver it. I wasn't in, and anyone knows about the trouble you have if you're not in and Royal Mail try and deliver something. It's just good luck seeing that item ever again. It's now sat impending, just sat somewhere, not tried to redeliver. I rang Royal Mail. I says, can you redeliver it to a local pickup point? He said, yeah, not a problem. Turned up at the local pickup point when it was meant to be redelivered. They don't have anything. So I've kissed goodbye to that mug now. I don't hold any hope whatsoever to get it. So if you're thinking about getting a parkrun mug, make sure you're in for the delivery. Otherwise, waste the money. Rant over. And then
it's weird that you deliver it together, wasn't it, with your shirt?
I did think that, but
for the same place, I mean, them in stock.
A shirt you can put in the letterbox. The mug, I mean, leave it outside for Christ's sake. No one's going to nick it. I had a phone delivered a couple of weeks ago, and the bloke just left it in front of my front door. I live in a block of flats, so anyone could have come in and took that. Like a mug, fucking hell, they're guarding it like it's a royal phone. Like, I don't understand. So, yeah. We've had a couple of questions, and let's boss through a couple of them quickly. We've had one here from, it just says Stuart, no surname, where he's from. Stuart says, Ben, we'll come to you on this one because Jake's not done an event yet. Do you prefer big city events or the small, or the local ones, like your Naptons, for example, or do you prefer the big ones?
Definitely more local ones, 100%. I don't like big events. I know, Mike, you do. I like the little ones. Oh, well, okay. Next question, Mike. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. If we can maybe veer back to the question, that'd be great. No, but yeah, I prefer the big city ones. More people come out to support, and when you're someone like me, the support helps you more than you can imagine, more than you believe. Alex Thomas asks. He's asked 3 questions, right? Greedy so and so.
Loves it.
He says he obviously thought he was a bit of a joker of the pack with this one. If you stuck a pint on a stick in front of Mike, how far would he run? We'll find out. 10K, because there's going to be a pint waiting for me on Sunday. Yeah. So there's the answer to that one. PB, yeah, PB pending. Don't watch.
It's my job at the single half.
Yeah. Just walk. You don't even need to jog. Just walk alongside me. Kind of tinny of Carlsberg. I'll be right as rain. Will Ben take up joggling for his next running challenge? That's what Alex asks.
If I could juggle, I would.
That's a video waiting to happen. He also asked. Now, unfortunately, Jake, you're exempt from this because the answer would be you straight up. So he said, if you were to start at Birmingham Airport, who would get to their football team stadium quicker, Mike or Ben? Because I said, well, Jake
would still beat me.
I said, Jake would. The park's only down the A45. He's laughing. Because Watford is 90 miles away and Preston is 111 miles away. So I genuinely think, even though it's more miles, I think Ben would get to Deepdale quicker than I would Vicarage Road.
Yeah, probably.
I think he'd get there before I'd even get to Villa Park.
That's an interesting one. We'll give it a go. Stay tuned.
Yeah, okay.
How long you got?
I'll get a taxi for that one. I wish my bloody cat would stop standing up, sitting down. Bloody hell. This is great for live podcasting. Ben, come to you on this one. Ryan asks, what's one race that every runner should do at least once? I think I know the answer.
It's got to be, isn't it? Everyone's got to understand how incredible Napton is. I will fight this place until, I don't know, I die. I love that. I'm going to do it every year.
Well, I haven't told you boys this, but I've got a wedding the night before. So I've been really toying with not doing it, but I think we've said it that much now, and it's gonna be his first 10K. Well, maybe the Stratford one, but I will do it. I'll be there. I'll turn up. That was from Liam Reed. Sorry, not Ryan. Ryan actually asked, and it'll be interesting to get both your takes on this. What's your go-to pre-run and post-run snack? So, Jake, before you leave for a run, are you eating anything to fuel yourself? And when you get back, are you eating? Let's use parkrun as an example. Early in the morning on a Saturday, are you eating beforehand?
I don't think I eat. I think I just nail off an electrolyte. Just try and cane it, sink it down.
Bite into it.
Nah. Come on.
I bet he bites into paracetamol as well.
No, I don't really eat. The only other time I have done so, I had a pear. Full brew, and I think I had a
pear of what?
Hey?
Huh?
I said a pear of what?
Guilty.
Guilty as charged. What about after park run? You get home, you're in the door. Are you having a bit of brecco or?
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
How do you not know?
Actually, usually on a Saturday, depending on what time I get back, there's usually a sausage sandwich waiting. So
yeah, sauce.
Yeah, that's the pair he's talking about. Pair of sausages. Ben, what about your good self? Before and after a race, it's 10K day. What are you eating before? Are you eating before?
10K day. No, probably. As Jake said, nailing off an electrolyte and a banana. That's all I need.
Banana's a popular one, actually.
I do like
what about when you get back? What you eating after event day?
What do I like? To be honest, I'm quite boring. I usually go like toast or something with cereal, couple chocolate biscuits, coffee. I'm happy to go.
Bloody hell.
Now there's another 10k outside.
Yeah.
Unless there's a sausage sandwich waiting for me.
Oh, steady.
Yeah.
With me,
Go on.
well, I used to eat cereal before I ran, but then it was too heavy. So I went through a phase of not eating before I run. But now I like the old saying, the old Chinese wives' tale, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I have an apple
red or
on the
green?
way down to Park Run. Granny Smith
Yeah,
apple.
You
Best
man.
apples ever, by the way. Won't
Pink
be told
ladies,
otherwise.
mate. Pink ladies.
No way. They're too dry.
No way.
How are they dry?
What do you mean? There's no flavour to them whatsoever.
Right, an apple's an apple, man. Have a day off.
No,
Are
it's
you
not.
joking me? What
I've
taste does a Granny Smith have?
Granny Smith's the,
Feral.
pardon the expression, but it's the juiciest apple and the sweetest apple there is. Out
It's
of
not
all the
sour.
apples.
Smith.
I swear they're sour.
Yeah, but I'd rather have that, a bit of taste, a bit of tanginess.
You just said they were sweet. Make your mind up.
Yeah, sweet and tangy.
You don't know your ass from your head, you.
Get out
You
of
have
here.
one of them after brushing your teeth.
Well, we've had a comment here from Hannah saying pink lady all the way.
People have spoken.
Well, I just think that's sexism.
I just feel like
Of course, she's going
I
to pick
literally
pink
just whatever
lady.
Audi do. Proper Brexit. Come on, anything. Apple's an apple. It doesn't really matter what it is.
It's not an apple. Is not an apple.
So one of your 5 a day. It doesn't matter if it's Granny Smith or Pink Lady. It's an apple.
Well, of course, I know what you're saying there, but in terms of if I'm in the supermarket aisle in bloody Aldi and I've got all these apples in front of me, I'm heading straight for the Granny Smiths
I'll just go whatever the cheapest is. Come on.
in Aldi.
Disgusting.
So yeah, and then when I get home,
Pink lady.
Pink lady, yeah. When I get home, I usually get home around lunchtime. So if I'm staying over there or if we're staying for a bit after the event, I might sneak a cheeky beverage, in. Might have a liquid breakfast, as they say.
Oh,
Lads.
Oh.
I think we did that once. Was it for your birthday night out? We did part run in the day, then we went to Mason's for breakfast. I think I had a pint.
That was Ben's homestag. Stephen's.
Oh, it was,
And
yeah.
I had the BAP and it had sesame seeds on.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Jake is very allergic to sesame seeds. So yeah.
Other allergies are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was from Ryan. Thank you very much. We've had a message here from a gentleman, and I really hope I pronounce this right. Harry Leverstock. He's from Westland in Michigan. Yeah, I know. Shout out. Loving the show, guys, from across the pond. If you had to run a marathon in pants, I assume he means like jeans, trousers, not like white fronts, or Crocs, which would you rather? Jake, I'll come to you first.
You don't even Crocs.
Oh, you couldn't run a marathon in it. Your feet would kill.
Comfort is key.
Mate,
They're
I've
like
got
the-
my Crocs. I've got my Crocs on right now, mate. Got the charms there.
I love my Crocs. Ben's had a bad experience with his Crocs because he left me.
I bet you've got the cars ones, ain't you?
I
Lightning
got
McQueen.
Scooby-Doo ones. I have.
I'll rate that. What's your bad experience with Crocs, Ben?
I left them in Tenerife, man.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
mate. There'll be some lucky man mincing round in them now. Very good, very nice.
I reckon the
Little
maid-
Preston badge on.
I reckon the maid had them. Definitely.
Well, yeah. So are you picking pants or are you going with Crocs?
Crocs.
I don't see how that's a comparison. Shoes or trousers.
No, because they're both uncomfortable. I know Crocs are comfy, but you couldn't run a marathon in them. No way.
Are we talking some Levi's? I'll run in some Levi's.
Levi's.
Again,
Or the
it's
jeans
like
are
the apples
Nah,
debate.
I think they'd be like Henleys, you know.
G-Star Raw.
Lee Cooper.
Next
Yeah,
time, Mackenzie Jeans or Longsdale, something. Brexit.
Well, don't forget he's in America, so it could be anything.
Wrangler. I'll wear some jeans.
It'd be like that Bruce Springsteen cover with the red handkerchief hanging out the back.
White, ain't it?
Is it? I don't know.
I think he had a red cap. No, it's a red cap. I don't know, Mike.
I don't know. I thought the handkerchief was red.
No way.
Next one from Franklin.
Whoa! What are you picking?
Jeans. If I have my Crocs on for too long, like sitting around the house, not comfortable at all. Like my feet, I've got wide feet, so they're not comfy. I couldn't run a marathon in them. Yeah. Jake, we'll come to you on this one first because you're a bit of a film buff. Franklin asks, "What's your favourite sports film?"
Oh. I feel like a lot of people would go like Rocky, wouldn't they? I don't know. I think I've got like a top three. I'll give you my top three.
Go on in.
No order. So one of them will be 24, which is a baseball film, which I'm not even a big baseball film. It's about Jackie Robinson. It's like who's like the first African American baseball player to make it. They retired his number and everything, and it went through when all the racism was massive, and it's a really good film. I think I'd throw Cool Runnings up there. Sick film. 42, sorry, I've just been corrected. It's 42, not 24. There we go. And
24 was a sequel.
Yeah, doesn't. And then I'd go. Probably Remember the Titans. Is it Remember the Titans? You know, Denzel Washington, a Disney one in the NFL.
I don't know any of those three you've just said. But I'm not a massive film buff.
You surely have seen Cool Runnings.
Bits and pieces. I know of Cool Runnings. When we went to Jamaica for our honeymoon, there was a sports bar with the is it the toboggan? Have I said that right? No.
Bobsled.
What's it called then?
The bobsled.
What have I just said then?
Toboggan and a toboggan, like.
What is a toboggan?
It's like in the hillside, like the countryside. They're like it's on like tracks.
No,
I don't know. It's a vehicle though, no? I don't know. Well, the bobsled, the Jamaican bobsled was outside, not the one, but yeah. So I do know of it.
Official.
No.
Didn't know they had ice in Jamaica.
What about you, Ben?
Bend it like Beckham.
Oh, I like it. I really struggle with this because, like I say, I'm not a film buff at all, and I'll say one now off the top of my head, but I bet we'll end this and I'll be like, why didn't I say that one? Let's go with Run, Fat Boy, Run. If that can be classed as a sports film, relatable.
Yeah. Like
what else have we had? We have had from Craig, one place you would love to run around. Ben?
See, my dream race is the UTMB, which is the run around Mont Blanc in
Where's
France.
that?
Chamonix. Yeah.
Jake?
I feel like it's a bit obvious what mine's going to be.
Villa Park.
Napton.
I was going to say Disney one.
Oh.
Gonna say what?
Huh?
Where? This is great. This is great viewing.
It cut out. And she said, where? But I'd say Walt Disney World because it is possible. So it's not like it's out of this question. It's just, that'd be a good one. Villa Park, big stadium. I could. Yeah. If I wanted to do a smaller stadium, I suppose Watford could be thrown in the mix.
There we go. Had to get that one. Yeah, Watford would be my answer. We did the Wolverhampton 10K, and you start and finish in the stadium. So it'd be great to do one in Watford Stadium. So that would be mine. And then we've had one. Ben, you might be best to ask this, considering you're the fastest. How do you increase your speed? I feel like it could be a bit of a boring answer and quite generic.
Dave
from Warsaw asked that, by the way.
Dave.
Dave from
Cheers,
Dave.
Dave.
Walsall.
Cheers,
You all
Dave.
right, mate?
Well, Dave, I'd say interval training. So alternating between sprints and then jogging, walking, whatever recovery you want to do. So yeah, blast a bit of speed, then give yourself 60 seconds. Hill sprints, always a good one. I need to be doing them myself, to be honest. Just keep with your tempo runs. So, sustaining a hard but manageable pace for like 20 minutes or something like that, 20 to 30 minutes. And another one I need to do is strength training. So, yeah. Strength.
Oh, strength. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Thought that was some like hip analogy, like strength training.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd go with if you want to increase speed.
There we go, Dave. Hope you're equipped and ready to pick up your speed. Last couple of bits to end on. We're going to be doing something going forward where we're always trying to think of new ideas. And I had a thought the other day. There are loads of people that run for charitable causes. Ben's done it. I've done it. We know loads of people that have done it. And I thought it would be brilliant to highlight those people. So some weeks it might be people we know. Other weeks we'll just scour the internet, look for a random Just Giving GoFundMe page and just basically promote it. People might donate a couple of quids. People might be aware of the situation. And I suppose it's all about spreading awareness. So the segment's going to be called Miles That Matter. And this week, to kick things off, it's actually someone that I know. So there's a Watford fan that lives in Newark, which is about 10, 15 minutes away from where I live at the moment. And I think I found out about him because Watford used to ask when on Twitter, they would put out all the times of when kickoff was all around the world, which I always used to laugh at because who's watching Watford in Hong Kong? But it would they would say, reply with where you're watching from. So when I moved up here, I replied, said, I'm watching from Lincolnshire. And then this chap messaged me and he was like, oh, whereabouts in Lincolnshire? We got chatting. He was like, oh, I'm in Newark. So I actually went and met him for a park run. So I did Newark Park Run last year and went and met him, a chap called Alistair. And we'll start with him as my cat again tries to wander over and sit right in front of the screen. And he's now sat in front of my phone screen where I'm reading this from. So thank you very much, Flossie. So he is a teacher, Alistair Shivas, and he is running for the charity Young Lives versus Cancer. And the reason he's doing so is a student in year 11 at his school was recently diagnosed with cancer, and they're obviously trying to pull together and be one big community. So he has said that he's going to be running 3 events: the Gordon Wellborn Week, I'll explain what that is in a little bit, the Round Sheffield Run, and then the Newark Half Marathon. And he's also said he will aim to run 400 kilometres but before GCSE results day, which I am led to believe is Thursday, the 21st of August. So that's quite some stint for him. So the Gordon Wellborn Week, just quickly, is a week of running, and it varies. One day it was 5K, the next it was 3K, then they did a 10K, and it's organised by Newark Running Club. And you don't have to be a member to do these runs. Anyone can pay on their website. They tell you where it is, what the distance is, and you turn up and do it. He asked if I wanted to do it, but unfortunately I was busy. I was working away that week, so I wasn't able to take part. So I believe he did a run every day that week. So he's already completed that. That was the week commencing the 2nd of June. He's already completed the Round Sheffield Run, which was completed on the 28th of June. And then the Newark Half Marathon is the 17th of August. So he's done 2 out of the 3 runs at the moment. And like I say, he's running for Young Lives versus Cancer. His target is 500 quid. And he's currently, as of right now, which is Thursday, the 24th of July, at £9. He's currently on 393 quid. So I'll pop the link into the description. Again, I understand not everybody will know who these people are. But if we can just at least shed a bit of light on it, it might get a bit of traction somewhere. So yeah, we're going to be doing that going forward. And like I say, we might know them. If you're running for a charity and you want us to highlight your story, get in touch and we'll absolutely do so. So yeah, I think that's a good place to sort of end on. But before we do end, obviously, as I said earlier, we are trying to build this Spotify playlist. So we've only had 3 song entries here, guys. We can do better here. Whilst me and Jake are adding our songs, get your songs in the comments. So we've had Chris with Without Me, Eminem. We've had Jonesy, I assume, and I really hope that is Aaron Jones. And if it is, I hope you're well, mate. Run Boy Run by Woo Kid. Blue has said Love Shack by, is that the B-52s?
It is, yeah.
B-52s. So this week is me and Jake. Jake, you said to me earlier you've gone rogue with your shout. What is your shout?
So I'm going to go I'll Take You There, X BBK. Fuse remix. I'll send
Is
it.
that Boy Better Know?
Yeah.
I'll take you
Is that
there.
not Boy Better Know?
Boy Better Know.
I'll send it you anyway, mate, just in case.
Did you say it's the Fuse Fuzz remix?
Fuzz remix, sorry, yeah.
I've got it right here. That's getting added as we speak. So that makes 8 songs. Then I'll add the 3 that we've had there. So if you're still watching, quick, get your comments in because I'm going to be pressing end stream very, very shortly. I have gone with a bit of a random one. And Jake, you'll 100% know what film this is in, but it is from a film. And it just come on shuffle the other day when I was out on a run on Saturday. And I was like, this is a really good one to run to. I have gone with a Huey Lewis and the News song. I have gone with Hip to Be Square. Can you name the film, Jake?
I don't even know if I've heard that. Hip to Square?
I think you would have.
Give us a rendition.
Absolutely not. It's from, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to stick my neck out on the line here. I'm pretty sure it's from American Psycho. The one with Christian Bale in.
Yeah.
Chopping a few man up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So Hip to Be Square makes it in.
I'm so shocked you haven't thrown this in the playlist yet.
Go
Your
on.
entrance for your wedding song, because that is an upbeat song.
It is absolutely not.
But just can't get enough.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Flying Without Wings.
Oh, absolutely nasty pressing.
Yeah,
That was
just
your
can't get
entrance
enough.
thing, though, weren't it? Wasn't that the song you entered into?
Yeah, I thought you said our first dance song. But yes, it was the song we entered to. Yeah, because I've overplayed it that much, I'm just sort of a bit bored of it. But I'll probably be a bit bored of it next season as well, because we always play it when we win at home. So that'll get boring soon, eh, lads? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So yeah. Officially, I said this last week and I was wrong, but I definitely am on the money this week. Officially, our longest ever podcast. So thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for enduring it with us. We hope you've enjoyed it. Still only 3 songs. I'm disappointed, folks. But if you watch this back on YouTube or listen on Spotify, get in touch with us. chasingthefinish@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Let us know a song and we'll pop it onto our playlist. But next week, my brother Cameron will be on as a special guest. I would have done that 10K. We'll be a week closer to the Solihull event. And I'm sure other things will crop up in that week as well. So until next time, I always dread this bit. I really, really do. Until next time, keep chasing that finish and goodbye.
That's even worse.
Well, you know. But yeah. See you later, guys.
See you later.